I'm Johnine Cole, known as Scotty, and it's a pleasure meeting you as well.
Okay. So, where were you born at?
Well, I'm from 15 Mile Road, but I was born in St. Clair Shores.
Oh, okay.
And I've also dibbled and dabbled in the Mount Clemens neighborhoods as well.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay. So, do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, on my mom's side, I have three sisters and two brothers. And on my dad's side, I have three sisters and two brothers as well.
So you got a big family.
Yes, I do have a big
That's
family.
great. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. So, so tell me what it's like growing up on. You said you grew up on 15 Mile Road, Quinn Road.
Yeah.
So, what was it like growing up there? You know.
Wow. Now looking back on it, it was just one big ball of chaos and confusion.
Yeah.
Dysfunction to the fifth dimension. Um, had a lot of people living in one community with the mindset of slave mentality, where they still were living out an era that had already been overturned, but they didn't know how to let go of it.
So pretty much what you're saying was they thought they was letting go, but they wasn't.
No,
They kept picking up the same rocks and putting them down.
they was digging a deeper ditch.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I understand that because my family they came from the same area and we have witnessed a lot of the same turning up stones as well. So
Exactly.
thank goodness that we have some parents or some motivator in our life to get us away from it, and that's what it takes sometimes.
My motivation for myself was after I learned the history of my family, um, from my grandmother to myself, we've always lived in some kind of addiction, whether it
Okay.
be an addiction to food, alcohol, gambling, drugs, verbal abuse, physical abuse. We always seem to attach ourselves to that kind of dysfunctional livelihood.
Johnny, a lot of people will never ever even think on that level what you're thinking on. Because a lot of people don't do enough research to understand that. And
Right.
obviously you know that, and obviously, by watching trial and error with your family, you know it was something making them addicted to something, no matter what it could have been, good or bad, it was an addiction.
Right. I learned also some good characteristics about my family tree. We had the gift of song and music. And because we always vibrated on a lower level, we weren't able to pursue that and pass that through the generations instead of passing the drug addictions through the
Wow.
generations. So with me finally realizing that, I made a conscious decision to change my lifestyle so I can give my children and their children's children some kind of legacy, some kind of hope. Because we're living in a time right now where there's a lot of hopelessness going on.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%. And it's a real critical time.
Yes.
We read in the Bible. It's a critical time what we're living in right now. And
Right.
personally, I really truly believe that
Right.
because every era got its ups and downs. But currently, right now, with our president of the United States, man, who knew? And I can't really say good or bad because I'm neutral. But what I hear and see, I just can say is wow. That's all
Well,
I
you
can say.
can't take back what you see.
That's right.
And so it's like anyone that lives in a world where they think they saw something but they didn't see it or they don't want to see it, that's not a reality. Because this guy that's running our country right now, he's literally working off of a grammar school education, mentally and verbally. I mean, President Obama used words that brought hope and healing. This guy brings divisiveness and fear. And it's like we all just got to get back to one love because it can happen. because it happened for me. I was able to change my mind and my lifestyle about a bunch of things that I had learned growing up, which were true for somebody else, but they weren't true for me. So I had to start writing my own Bible. You know, I had lived by those structures of Bibles, but I was always fighting that. And I know why I was fighting it now, because I've got my own story to tell. I've got my own testimony, and I'm walking it out, and I'm living proof that you can walk on water, you can be in the belly of the whale, and you can be in the lion's den and still come out looking like ain't nothing happened.
Yes, indeed. I agree. And I agree with you, because everybody, 90% of people, that's always a percentage.
Yeah.
90% of people just feel that once they stuck, they stuck. And the other 10%, you see them on TV. You see them and read about them in the newspaper. They do great things, no matter, it could be Hollywood, no matter what it might be. They didn't stick with that 90%.
Just being the martyr in your family.
Yeah,
right. Just being the light and the beacon of hope for your family. I mean, yeah, if you can take it to the next level, fine, but make sure that you take care of your own household first. Because when you do get out there and you're starting to give more of yourself to other people, don't give out your need. Make sure you can give out of your want.
That's important.
And your family is your need. People you help outside of that are your wants. So.
Well, that's quite interesting. I think that more and more people is more a victim of their own environment, and because you hear a lot of things on TV about black and white crime. Can I ask you a question? How do you feel about black on black crime?
Wow. Well, to be honest, growing up around the environment that I did, which was drugs, alcohol, gambling, hustling, just all of those behaviors, I became desensitized to it. Like it was an everyday life thing to me. But when I came into my new life, when I changed my thoughts and the direction of the journey that I was on, and came over to something that vibrates on a higher level, which produces more good in my life, I realized I can do nothing but love everybody else out here, because love shouldn't have a color. Crime shouldn't have a color. Actually, I don't feel like there should be any crime. If we all got together, raised our families, spent more time in our home, giving that time to our families, meaning sometimes you have to separate yourself from the world, meaning you have to come out from amongst them. You have to make a decision that the things I learned growing up on my path with my parents, they worked well while I was with my parents. Now I'm a grown person, so I got to make better choices. So I'm not going to be thinking in a way where I'm going to go out and hurt my fellow man, especially if I love myself. Therefore, there could not be no black on black crime. But because of the way the system has raised us, and this goes all the way back to slavery, we've always been put against each other. And I see it still even in my own family unit, which I'm trying to heal on a regular basis, but I can only do so much. It takes two willing people to make it happen.
At least two people. Because you can't just talk.
I can't do it on my own.
You can't talk in the mirror to yourself. Because
well, I could do that, but how will we solve the separateness? Yeah. You know? How would we be able to unite and bring together a sisterhood, a brotherhood, not of just black people, but white people as well? You know? How do we fit that in the sequence of changing things around?
Well, it's like the old saying, we all are in a melting pot. and we all melt in a pot, guess what? It ain't no coming. It
Hello.
all blends together. But you know why? It gets hot or it gets cold.
I just feel like I'm a human being. I'm here being the best person I can at this appointed time to the universe. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has a purpose. You're not going to be like them, and they're not going to be like you. And if they is, they imitating, and it'll never go far anyway.
It's true.
So it's like you don't have to be good as this person, or you don't have to sing like this person. All you got to do is be willing.
Be yourself.
Be willing. That's all it takes. And once I decided to show up and be willing in my own life, I started to see love in everything and everybody. You know, I have a story that I want to present right now where I was facing 4 to 16 years on 4 counts. And I was going to be in prison for a long, long time. And this was larceny from a building, the hospital. Yeah. I went in there, I grabbed 4 purses, and in each purse were credit cards, which caused that to be a case.
Wow. So, I imagine a beautiful woman like you must get around. So, where you travel to? Where you like to go to? What's your favorite state?
My
City?
favorite place of all to travel would be Hawaii. What people don't really know about me is I'm really a nature, earthy girl. I can party in the palace and the pit, but I like to keep it level and balanced and stay here on the earth. And I like walking through the dirt and the sand, and you know, I can even sleep outside with the bugs because I was a Girl Scout too. And I've been to Hawaii twice. My mother is buried there. Her ashes are. So I go back and I visit her from time to time. I also like Jamaica. I had an opportunity to do Dunn's River Fall, which is where you walk up the water on the rocks and you hold hands like a chain, a human chain. And if one falls, everybody falls. So instead of me falling with everybody else, I went and got the instructor and had him guide me. Just a little something I do from time to time to keep myself safe.
I'm on my way.
So I would have to say I had an exciting time in Cancun. And I just recently went to Freeport, Bahamas, where I met some really good locals. And I'm still socializing with them through social media, and we're keeping in touch. And I'm quite sure they're not my friends, they're my family, and I have the opportunity to go and visit them again. My next big travel, I want to go to Brazil. With at the hostel, which is where I stay when I travel, because I'm not going to be in my room all day, and I'm not paying all of those obnoxious costs to house my clothing and a few other items I bring. So she told me, she said, a woman of your stature would come to Brazil and would live like a queen. And I said, sign me up. I'm ready.
That's nice. That's nice.
So, yeah, I want to go out the country as far as going to Africa and Italy and different places, but due to some circumstances of choices I made while I was growing up, they revoked my passport, so I'm currently not able to do that. But in due time, I see
I know it's coming. Well,
definitely. Well, I'm excited to hear your enthusiasm about them because I'm very willing to go.
Yeah, they're very willing.
I've already toured America as far as my experience. Now I'm ready to go abroad, you know, and share my testimony and the wealth of my being with everyone else.
I agree. I agree.
Because it's a lot of memories and experiences going on up around here. And they're just living to get out.
And I can't blame you there.
So,
I tell you, the people are wondering, your hair is so beautiful, your hairstyles, and I've been seeing a lot of pictures of you personally before you came on the show, and there's some beautiful, you have some beautiful hairstyles, and I just think you're a beautiful lady.
thank you.
The way you present yourself, and I just feel that, you represent all ladies, not only black ladies or
Love.
Brazilian ladies or ladies from
Indian
Bahamas,
ladies.
Caucasian ladies. You represent all.
Yes.
So I think
A little bit of everybody is
Yes.
inside of me.
and that's
So to say that I'm not a person who loves everyone would be a lie, because I've been groomed, I've been raised by all kinds of people. And matter of fact, when we first moved into the neighborhood in 15 Mile Road, a white family adopted us and became our relatives.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
So,
That's
as far
nice.
as racism, none of that in my bones, none of that in my being. But as far as giving the truth, I'll definitely do that every chance I get.
Yeah. Wow, Johnny, that's very nice.
Thank you.
And Johnny, if you can say something to women in the world today, to empower them, to make them feel better about themselves, if they're feeling bad.
Mm-hmm.
But anything what you can say that, because no one wants to feel bad.
No.
Everyone wants to feel good. So what could you say to them to make them feel good? Shoot, see what you got.
Well, I've been hearing this a lot lately, and this is definitely one of my models that I could say I've been using all my life. When they go low, I go high. And it's all about changing your mindset. What you learned as a child doesn't work well as an adult. What your parents taught you in the millennial that we're in doesn't work well for your parenting of your children, because things have been changing rapidly and bigly, if I can say that. I mean, and we have to change with the times. We can't get stuck and complacent and just believe that life is one way. Life is too big to just say one way. Life is everything. Life is love. Life is the beauty that you see in someone else because it's already inside of you. And for women out there that need to be empowered, I say take the bull by the horns and ride him until you wear him down. And you'll see the manifestation of you holding on. Definitely.
Got another question to ask you. I'm not sure, but I heard that you're a grandmother. So, come on now. I mean, you don't look like a grandmother.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So,
I am a grandmother.
are you serious?
Yes. And I've been a grandmother since the age of 31, I want to say.
Age of 31. So, can I ask you another personal question?
Yes,
How old
you
are you?
did. I am the age of 51.
51 years old.
I was born the 10th month of the year, the first day of the 10th month of 1965, which is when civil rights started. So you can kind of, see why I'm so passionate about love and everybody changing up what we once knew.
So, pretty much you was alive when Woodstock went down. Pretty much.
All of it. I've been in
That's great.
every era that we've been through, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Now we're here in the 21st century. I got a lot of more centuries to go, if so be easy.
That's it. You gotta think about it. You gotta think about
Oh
it.
yeah. I definitely want to, contribute to making the world a better place. And you can only do that by going through something and coming up out of it grateful.
100%.
Grateful. And that's what I can leave you with. I'm grateful. Definitely.